But here's the problem I have with this Pusha T and Kanye dialogue, because while Percy is right here, go ahead and read that, he does make a solid point, right? The problem is that Pusha T, especially in this recent rollout, speaks and talks as though he's the type of person to ding you on your choices and your morality and things like that, and is actively talking about Travis Scott, right? Not having the right morals and playing both sides while he's doing, what he's doing here. And he's showing that he clearly knew how to pick and choose. And he clearly knows how to move with Kanye like a coworker. Why is there not the same grace for Travis Scott? Why can't you see that Travis Scott probably just, when Drake comes around and does Meltdown, that's just a coworker doing music. And then when you come around, do whatever, that's just a coworker doing music. The next part of that, too, is I dislike how people are ignoring the sort of confrontational mafioso feelings of rap, where a lot of what Percy's saying here, where the kind of nuance and gray areas of not destroying personal and professional relationships because of meeting the principles, they're acting like they don't know how that's been a prevalent thing in rap, where beefs can happen so easily. One guy looks at the wrong guy in the club a certain way. A lot of street rules get applied. There's only so much business we can do, right? That if you just aren't checking off certain boxes, I just don't rock with that type of guy. There are beefs that are ongoing for 10, 15 years because you did this and I did that. So, and Punch had a tweet recently when he was talking about a divide in hip hop. I might make a full video on that. I might not. I shout out to Punch for being forthright sometimes, or at least giving information from that side of town, because I feel like sometimes there isn't. And he was talking about a great divide. And I want to talk about, as a commentator, what really is the divide, which is when it's rappers you like, you make an excuse. When it's rappers you don't like, you don't make an excuse. And then there's no consistency there. Like, again, a Pusha T thing, I'm willing to make good videos about Pusha T when him and his brother are doing great things in regards to this album. But I can't sit here because although I understand we're both hypocrites, it's the nature of what he's doing. It's the energy, it's the vigor, it's the passion he has. Talking about someone like a Travis Scott, down talking Kanye's name when it's like you made those decisions. It's Almost Dry came out in 2022. Kanye had been off the rails damn near 5-7 years before that. It got absolutely worse now, and you could have made those decisions. Yes, music is like having coworkers, but music is also like independent contracting and freedom. You sign deals, get out of deals, right? You choose what producers to work with. I mean, there's a reason now you're working with your brother and Pharrell and not working with Kanye. No one put a pew-pew to your head to do that. So you guys are applying, 40-hour-a-week corporate job-like mentality to Pusha T when you know damn well it's not like that. Proving a point. Def Jam didn't want him to do something with Kendrick. He called Jay and got out of that deal, right? So it's just the little things, right? Like, so when part of your attack with Drake is like Drake doesn't write his own music, and Drake says on Duppy, look who you standing next to. And indeed, look who indeed you are standing next to. You want to talk about people not writing their own music? Kanye West, I give him credit for being like the Quincy Jones of composing rap music, but brother, right? So my issue is, because as a commentator, the reason I get passionate about this is because some of you guys can hide under the guys that like, oh, well, I didn't say nothing about the Travis thing, so I can defend Pusha. I know your Avies. I know I sound crazy, but I know your profile pictures. I know what side, speaking back to Punch tweet, what side you usually pick. I know when I have smoke for a certain rapper or commentator or politician doing a certain thing, I know what you're going to say. And then when I make the same similar video about another rapper doing the same exact shit, I know where, and vice versa. I make defenses for rappers all the time. I swear to you not. If Pusha was right on the money in my eyes about this situation, I'll call a spade a spade. But I just can't see in the same press run how we're doing all of this in the sense that, we're doing all this moral grandstanding about a Travis Scott, even about Kanye himself, when if you look within, dog, you are moving like a corporate guy anyway. And that leads me to the end of my essay, which is that I thank Jay-Z all the time that he's my favorite rapper, because he put me through the boot camp of having to justify a capitalist, ambitious, money hungry, but helping sometimes, feudal lord. And I learned, like, oh shit, I can't defend everything Jay-Z does. Oh shit, there is something that Jay-Z does that is BS. But I know that he's still great. I know that it's all still a business. And he actually puts it in the music. I'm almost not standing him. Does that make sense? Anyway, good talk. I hope we can move on after this because I hear some, and I will point out one thing. I'll save it for the end of the video so y'all can use it on me later. I think sometimes I try not to get too angry on a video because it's like, did I deliver my point? Because when I asked y'all, I felt like I was asking rhetorically in that last video, like, yo, so Kanye says, and I mean, Pusha says in the clip, like, other than music, we don't connect on anything else, me and Kanye. And I was like, well, why'd you connect with him in the first place? And a lot of y'all were like, well, he answered the question right there. Fair enough. That was kind of a little bit of rhetoric, but I was also saying that if you are this morality guy, you don't come, because he kept saying that you don't come from the cloth that we come from. How could you not spot that in Kanye early? And how could you not choose your morals and principle over the connection of music and money? Make sense? All right. I hope I delivered that better.